Board on these.
Okay.
Recording in progress. Right, when you're ready.
Yeah, glasses on, I think. Yeah, that's okay. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Letting Experts pre-launch webinar. I'm absolutely delighted to be hosting this webinar this evening and sharing with you an exclusive preview of what's coming with the launch of the Letting Experts. So you have the pleasure of myself and James this evening. So James is the MD of the Recruitment Experts, our partner recruitment company. So just to give you a quick sort of lowdown on what's coming this evening. So the aim is to keep the webinar within an hour's time frame. I will do my best. I know I do go on a little bit, so bear with me. I will try and keep it. So I'm going to run through some slides and then we're going to allow some time at the end for any questions. So please feel free to make a note of any questions ready for them. So let's get started. So you can see the agenda on the screen here. So in essence, we want to share as much as we can with you tonight to give you the best introduction to our new letting model. So hopefully anybody who's then interested in progressing further with that conversation, they can arrange a discovery call with myself or James to find out more. So at the end of the webinar, we will share with you a couple of QR codes. So one will be to request a prospectus and the other one will be to book a discovery call. So without further ado, I just would like to do, first of all, a quick introduction to James.
I love the fact I've got the same background as I've got now.
Yeah.
Second age ago. So guys, my name's James. I run the Recruitment Experts. I basically work in partnership with Susan Liles, but also Sean Newman, who's our founder, which we'll come on to. And I work with multiple different companies. And basically, I'm just here to help everyone within the company, recruit the amount of people that they want, but also really just have, the kind of best experience possible and really enjoy themselves, because I know that recruitment can be rough sometimes. So yeah, if you guys ever have any questions about the model, like I say, Susan will have something at the end where you can just pick up the phone and just have a chat with me.
Great. Okay. So for those of you who don't already know me, my name is Susan Liles and I've been working in the lettings business now for over 25 years. I know you're all thinking I don't look it, but yes, I have. I did start my career with an independent agent. I then joined Countrywide in 1998 as a branch manager. And I continued to work there in various senior roles, which included regional director, acquisitions director, up until 2016, which is when I joined Purple Bricks, and I joined Purple Bricks to set up their self-employed lettings model. At the time, PB Lettings only operated in central London with about 7 agents. So my first 3 months, I worked as a local lettings expert, stroke territory owner, and I was covering Liverpool, Cheshire and Manchester, so quite a substantial patch to cover. So I experienced the entire journey from onboarding, training, business startup, and the day-to-day life of being a local lettings expert and a business owner. So very different to what I was used to previously, working in that corporate machine. So from here, my role developed to a lettings divisional director, working with 3 regional directors to grow a UK network of letting agents. And at its peak in December 2020, I think there was about 120 letting agents and a portfolio of around 7,000 managed units. So a really, really great growth. But as you know, things changed. And in 2021, the PB model changed from a self-employed to employed model. And for me, I no longer wanted to work in that environment. So I'd always decided already that, when I joined PB, I wanted to be part of the growth of the self-employed industry, and particularly lettings, because that's always been my baby. So following my departure at PB, I worked with Remax England and Wales to support them with their lettings model. And I then decided that I wanted to venture out as a consultant in the business. So I really felt there was a gap in the market to offer a truly dedicated letting self-employed model. During the last 6 to 7 years working in the self-employed online and hybrid model, there was one thing that always struck me. That was one thing that was really, really my biggest pain point, was that lettings was never their core business, and therefore the agents didn't truly benefit from the support what they needed and what they truly deserved. So to complete what I wanted to bring to the market, I spent the last 8 months working as a consultant, as I said, And I was working on some projects with a market-leading referencing insurance prop tech company. And this really, well, it sort of complemented my all-round knowledge in readiness to explore the opportunity of a bespoke lettings model. So that's where Sean comes in. So you see Sean Newman here on the screen next to me. He's on the call as well this evening, listening, no pressure. So Sean is an industry veteran and very, very well-known name in the business. So he set up his own business in 1988, and he changed it to a self-employed agency in 2008. So his business, the Newman Group, which you may have heard of, he recently rebranded that to the Property Expert. So that was launched in January 2023. We can share with you later the video that we sent out when we launched. So it just gives you an overview of what we're trying to achieve within all the experts within the group. So Sean also owns the Fine and Country Midlands business, so that prestige market, and several other companies which we're going to share with you later in the presentation. So this is where the Letting Experts is born. So before we talk about our model, I want to talk a little bit about the lettings market today. So I think it's important for us to just highlight what's going on in the market at the moment and what opportunity is there, so you can really appreciate the vision and where our journey is heading with the Letting Experts. So the current lettings market in the UK. So if we look back before the online and the hybrid self-employed models, before they even evolved, there was really just two types of letting agents in the industry. So we all know this. We have the traditional high street letting agent, typically with an in-house team to manage pre-tenancy property management. And it's fair to say that the traditional high street will pride themselves on a personal local service. However, as we know, the high street business, regardless today of what type of industry, you know, it's more difficult now to run in today's world, as they have to work extra hard to keep up with the new agent models that are continuously entering the market. So similarly with the corporate high street letting agents, typically here we see a bit of a split. So you have your front office staff get paid commission on the front end of the business. And again, I've been there, I've worked in the corporate world for 17, 18 years. And I'm not saying it's wrong, but what I'm saying is there's definitely a little bit of a disconnect in terms of the front end business and the centralized pre-tenancy and property management team. So that's pretty much where those two models operate. And then we have the opening of the online market. So there are numerous agents who offer this, and they're cropping up day by day. Open Rent, you probably know they have the highest market share today, but they do offer, it's a DIY service, and it's more suited to the DIY landlord who just wants to pick and choose the service to suit him. And then this is where we move on to the hybrid. So we move on to the online hybrid letting agent. And I'd say, you know, PB, as we probably know, we're probably the first off the blocks with their estate agency model. And really the overarching mission with the online hybrid letting agent is to offer the best of both. So the best of your traditional, your corporate expertise in lettings and sales, but also having a more personalized local agent. So what I would say is that when Purple Bricks Lettings set up, so they were very much focused on growing their front field teams, and there was a centralized pre-tenancy and property management center. This did become a challenge because the agents being self-employed, they wanted more oversight and control of their business. So as the business grew and the leadership and direction changed, that disconnection between the agents and the centralized teams really did heighten. So we finally then have our self-employed model. So really what I'd say is those two last models, there's quite a lot of overlap. There's a lot of hype in the media in terms of, you know, what is a true self-employed model today? And I'm not here to give my opinions on that today. However, what I do know is that what we intend to offer with the Letting Experts is a true self-employed model, and it really puts the partner agent at the helm of their business, and most importantly, their property portfolio. So we've seen the different models, and what I now want to do is just share with you just some statistics, and I think these are quite interesting actually. It's always good to share some up-to-date statistics. So the latest research shows that there's an average of 331,000 property professionals within the fully employed UK real estate sector. And there's approximately 65,000 that are classed as self-employed. So that equates to what, 17% of the total real estate employees across the UK property market. So, we've looked at all the other self-employed models, and I've worked in various self-employed models, as I've said. And for me, there's definitely one thing that's really sticks out and that's in common is that all of the self-employed hybrid models for letting, certainly, they operate lettings as a bit of a sideline to the sales business. It's not their core focus. So I wanted to change that. So, and we want to change that. With the launch of the Letting Experts, we want to give agents the opportunity to build their business and with dedicated letting support. So there's no compromise. And for me, that's a massive passion and massive aspiration for me in my career and in my personal life as well. So I want to bring that to the market and really help the fantastic agents that are out there to set up their own business.
Yeah, I can agree more on that. I think you're almost underselling it to a certain point, because a lot of these employed agents, there is like you say, a massive disconnect. You've got the online agents that are doing not half a job, but it's very kind of self-catering. And the online models are, it's a bolt-on service, which ultimately is just never going to yield the greatest results. And I think that if you combined all of that together, that's when you get there's no other company at the moment that are doing this. That is, and and I thought, yeah, 100%.
So what I want to look at here is that, and this is again just some other stats I want to share with you, that portfolio retention, that is massive. If you're growing a lettings business, your portfolio is the true value of your business, and if you lose that portfolio and it starts to hemorrhage, it has a huge impact on your business. So it's really interesting, actually, and I found these stats out quite recently, that 74% of landlords don't use the same agent. So agent loyalty is very, very low, because there's so many different models out there. And, but that to me is quite interesting. And for me and from my experience, and again, I've had a great career, and I would never, ever look back and go, there's not one part of it that I didn't enjoy. And particularly in Purple Bricks, that startup energy, it was amazing. It was a great business to be in. But, many self-employed agents, they've experienced challenges previously with other models. And there's quite a lot of frustration out there at the moment, because they want to manage their own portfolio. They go out there, they win the business, they build that relationship with the landlord, and they want to continue that relationship. And unfortunately, not every other model offers them the opportunity to continue with that relationship. So again, just a few stats. I'm going to whiz through these because I'm conscious now already I am talking quite a lot. So the opportunity, let's just whiz through. So nearly half, so 49% of landlords do not use a letting agent today. That just astounds me. That's just crazy. Only 1 in 5 landlords, that 18%, actually use an agent for management services. Nearly half of landlords, and I like this one actually, so because there's a lot of hype in the media at the moment in terms of interest rates rising and landlords bolting out of the buy-to-let. So 48% of landlords have said that if they had the right support and the right service, yes, they would keep their portfolio the same size, and 11% of landlords said that they actually planned to increase their portfolio. It's really positive. The UK average rent is £1,175 per calendar month outside of London. There's areas where we've just seen crazy rent increases, anything up to sort of 18-20%. And the average management fee charged across the UK today is 10.5%. However, more agents are now charging in excess of 12% for their management services. We seem to be going back a little bit in terms of, the fees that we used to charge, 10 years ago, which is really great. The average tenancy length has crept up to about 24 months. And again, that's all as a result of the shortage of rental properties. And the average period a landlord lets a property is now around 12 years, which is amazing. So if you can really nurture that client and that portfolio, you are on to a winner, because they are going to stick with you for a minimum of 12 years. And of course, the big elephant in the room. So the Renters Reform Bill, this is due later this year, and it's going to bring significant changes to our industry, including abolishing the Section 21 notice and strengthening of the Section 8 notice. So again, you know, let's just bring this together and look that landlords out there, they need more support than ever before, and better guidance, and a better experience, and a better way to service their rental properties. So we've established the gap in the market and the need for change. And we know that there's definitely an increased appetite from experienced letting agents out there to build their own lettings business. And it's great to see that we're actually very, very overwhelmed with how many people have joined the webinar tonight, which is fantastic. And it's the first webinar that we intend to do. But that, you know, that shows you that obviously there is an appetite out there from agents to want to build their own lettings business and manage their own portfolio locally. Similarly, with sales agents, you know, the sales market, it's up and down, as we know, and sales agents out there who want to extend their service to include lettings, but, you know, they see the value of a lettings portfolio to their business, both short-term and long-term. But we have to say they are fearful of compliance and the administration. If you haven't done lettings in your life, and you start to do lettings and you've never done it before, you're a sales agent, it can be very daunting. There's a lot to consider, and we've taken all of that into account. So what's in common with both of these type of agents is that, you know, if they are going to go self-employed, they need to earn quick, and they need to set up with the minimum cost and effort and have support on hand when needed. And that's what we want to create, and that's what we want to share, the highlights of what we've created with you today. So I'm just going to run through just a couple of slides which sort of, again, just home in a little bit on the pain points in the market at the moment, and for self-employed agents who might be considering and thinking, oof, not sure if it's for me. So there's increased appetite, as we know, from self-employed letting agents to run their own lettings and property managed business locally, but they find it too costly and difficult to set up. So what will we support you with? So we have put together the full solution and support for you to set up your lettings business, including all of the regulations and compliance, which grows and grows every day. We're looking at doing it with reduced costs, monthly payment options, and preferential rates with market leading partners. So we've done all the groundwork, all the hard work, so you don't have to. And step-by-step onboarding program, and consistent, and that's where it's really important, consistent support, consistent training, and again, dedicated to lettings. So agents need a simple way to streamline their processes and keeping 100% compliance. My countrywide days, I'm coming from that, you know, compliance is absolutely paramount in a lettings business. You know, you live and die by your service and your compliance in lettings. So, you know, we have put together a support package. So we've partnered with the best CRM, the best prop tech to create a seamless journey for our agents, digitizing them manual tasks and helping them to be compliant. So the platforms that we have in place is going to reduce our agents' admin by up to 90%, which is huge. We've also got automated compliance, and we're going to have a legal support team to be there on hand when you need it. So every let will also have a compliance audit, which will again protect you and your business and free your time. And then we have the technology, vitally important. So, you know, we know that landlords and tenants are more and more demanding. Our time is more demanding, and we want to spend more time to enjoy ourselves and with our families and go on holiday and everything else. So, you know, we want to make sure that we give you that time back. So we have put together a package that will continuously look to seek out and improve the best partners in the industry. So again, you don't have to worry about that. All of the technology platforms will be all white labeled your business, your branding. So you will always look to your customers like you are completely ahead of the game. And a digital pre-tenancy platform, which will really streamline the process and again, take away the burden of the compliance. And giving you that control and that sort of, well, first of all, control, but also visibility, which is really important, you know, so for those agents who've been in other models and, you know, you get so far with the business, but then when the let's agreed, you've got no idea what's going on. And that can be really, really frustrating. And then support. So support, guidance, business planning, massive, massive one for me. I think in any job I've ever had in my career, I've always prided myself on being there to support people. And, you know, genuinely mean that. I've always been the one that I will always go out my way to support. It's so important. And consistency as well. That consistency, partner support, and again, all the media, the marketing, which I'll show you in a minute, that comes with it. And again, as your business grows, you can plug into different suppliers of choice. And there's also, we've looked at all the ancillary income streams that are going to be beneficial to your business and, of course, boost your bottom line financials. And I'm going to share that with you a little bit later on. So why join the letting experts? So this next piece now is about realizing your future. And as anybody in lettings knows, that your future in lettings is your portfolio. That's your future business. So our goal is to provide the best and most attractive business model for the self-employed letting agents in the UK. That's our strapline. And you know, that's our mission, and that's what myself and Sean and everybody else in the business that we want to achieve. This is a really big ambition here. And I'll be honest with you, you know, when I put this slide up, you know, you know, it's a lot, but what we want to grow is at pace. So yes, you know, everyone has to have a dream, everyone has to have an ambition, and that would be an amazing ambition, that in 5 years, if we could really change the UK market and the self-employed letting agents. But what's important is that we will grow at the right pace, and we'll never compromise on the support and the overall service. And what we do believe is a real core driver for this is our network and our support. So we launched the property experts in January. That was just the start of that network. We also now have the mortgage experts, the recruitment experts, and auctions. So we're all under this big umbrella of network, and having every part of the estate agency and lettings journey operating together, it means that we can all be specialists in our own fields and offer that service to our clients. But ultimately, being self-employed and supporting each other, we really feel that's a huge asset of our business and that network. So on that note, you can see here, as I just mentioned to you, the different expert models within the company. So the property experts, and I think, James, you've got a lot of credit to take for this one, particularly in the last 3 months. So 55,
blame me for that.
Yeah. I think, yeah, so 55 self-employed property experts out there today, and we are aiming to have 150 property experts by the end of 2023. No pressure, James. And James is he's just recruited some new guys, and we are going to have somebody dedicated to lettings as well to support with all lettings recruitment. The mortgage experts, so we've got 40 self-employed mortgage advisors, and our mission is to have 100 mortgage advisors by the end of 2023. And Fine and Country, so as I mentioned, Sean has the Fine and Country Midlands business. So we currently have 62 self-employed agents there, and that is hopefully going to be 100 agents. It will be 100 agents by the end of 2023. So our core values, these are always really important. I'm not going to read each of these to you now. You will be able to see them in the prospectus. So when you read through our prospectus, when you read through any of our sort of material that we send out to prospective agents, you will really feel this throughout the content. You know, it's very, very important, and I know particularly important to Sean, and I'll explain a little bit more on that as well later, what we want to do to give back and how we care about, you know, everybody that's in this business, and that support network is critically important to us and the success of the future business. So we're now going to get into why choose us and what does it cost and what can you earn. So tonight's webinar is just going to showcase the tools and support at a very high level, the specific details of our support and all the partner companies, etc. We will give you more information on that on our discovery calls. We don't intend to share all of our secrets with you on this webinar today. We know it's anonymous, so we want to make sure that, you know, any conversations we have from here on those discovery calls will give you all the information that you need to make a decision if the letting experts is right for you. So training, coaching, accountability, we've covered that. Again, it's all about the people that are there to support you, the expertise, the knowledge. We do have an online training platform, so we've got over 400 videos that you can watch anytime, anywhere. When we do our training courses, you know, we're going to make those as remote as we possibly can. We don't want to be dragging people across the other end of the country to do training. We'll always do it remotely where we can, really important. And dedicated letting support, we've already touched on that. You know, everything that we're going to offer you, you know, it comes from, you know, it comes from the top, it comes from lettings, and it's all going to be, it's organically lettings. So, you know, we are going to make sure that you get that support that you need. And then tools and technology, we're always going to review the latest technology. We've mentioned that, and your personal brand. You know, people want to deal with people, not a faceless company. And that's why the property management, which we'll talk about in a moment, it's important to continue that relationship with your customers. Premium branding. So if we have any agents who want to focus on, or even pick up some, you know, properties at the higher end of the market, that's not a problem. So we are really kitted out well for that, with the Fine and Country particularly. So, you know, if any letting agents want to offer a sort of a bespoke marketing package for a prestige property, they can do that too. So we have all of the branding and network to support you with that. And no postcode restrictions. Now this can, you know, some people struggle with this, and you know what I say, some people say, oh, I'd rather have a patch. Actually, I'd like to have the freedom to do what I want. And I think with lettings particularly as well, and the estate agent, to be honest with you, it means that you can offer your business anywhere. You may have clients and repeat clients from where you worked before or whatever. So you're not restricted to your area. And particularly important with lettings, as you know, if you've got investor landlords, portfolio landlords, you know, you can be more flexible and you can offer them the best solution. Winning national network we've already covered, and rewarding experience. So I'm just going to go through, I'm conscious of time, so I'm going to just run through just to give you an example of what our marketing looks like. Again, we're always building a marketing platform. We do have an online platform, so you can just go on and you can bespoke all of the marketing to your business. So it's all online, really, really easy to use and to print as well from there. So it just gives you an example of the merchandise, all of the moving checklists, etc. Again, marketing material and social media assets. So that's all there in that online platform. So I've made you wait, what, 42 minutes? Is it? Sorry. So
28.
Not too bad.
28 minutes.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, I started my time a bit earlier. We're okay, actually. Okay, so I've got an extra 4 minutes there. Okay. So we've looked at the market. We've looked at where I see the gap in the market and where we feel we can offer letting agents the right support to build their business. So the big question is, how much can you earn? So this opportunity really does give you unlimited earnings. So our letting experts earn 70% of the letting fees and up to 100% of the management fees each month. So there's no model out there today that offers this opportunity that I'm aware of. Your management portfolio is your business. So you choose the level of support that you need to service your business. And, you know, from my mind, that's how it should be. So we'll provide you with the framework, the support for a minimum monthly fee. However, should you need additional support with your property management, then we can also offer you that too for an additional fee. So it's about giving you the platform to go out there and run your business, but then you can choose what extra support you need as well. So we're giving everybody the choice. And for me, that's what this is about. You know, if you're going to go self-employed, you've got to offer agents the choice of support that suits them and their business, because everybody, you know, everybody's in different stages with their career and where they want to be and their aspirations. So, you know, this is bespoke to you and your business. And again, we know how important that is to give the agents the choice. We will also provide you with income calculators. We've got all the business tools that I've done over the years and adapted them, and how we can really, really help you to plan your business ahead. So how much can you earn? So there's two examples on here. I mentioned before that the average rent in the UK is currently 1175, 983 excluding London. So I've pitched two examples. The first one at 950, which is slightly below the average rent, and then I've gone for, you know, mediocre 1500, which would sort of be a outer London or a cheaper property in London. So for this illustration here, it's based on 70% commission on the 50%, which is 50% of the first month's rent setup fees, and we based it on 12% fully managed fees, and that's split between a managed and let only business of 60-40%. So you can see here in example one, so doing 8 move-ins a month, you would earn over £90,000 a year, just doing eight move-ins a month. And at the end of year one, your management portfolio would be worth 50,000, which is just incredible. If we look at the example 2, James is thinking he wants to
yeah,
switch.
I was thinking about And
so
example, what's insane as well
yeah.
is that I've sat down with lettings agents that are doing 20 a month, you know, like, and the fact is that you get a residential income from this, you know, is insane. There is no other model in the UK that's doing it. It's incredible. Sorry, once you finish this slide, I've got a bunch of questions.
Okay. So I'm going to whiz through. I've got 3 or 4 more slides which are really important on here, and then we can hopefully get to the questions. So if you wanted to go for, if your average rent was 1,500, so you would just need to do 5 move-ins a month, and that would give you the same income of 90,000, and your management portfolio would be worth 50k after your first year. So, you know, your income will grow on a residual basis, providing business security and that reliable cash flow, as we know. Particularly, this is where I think in the self-employed model, you know, it gives you that first 3 months of a bit of income under your belt to get your business up and running. And long term, and this is where it is really, really important, and we've got to look ahead and think, you know, I'm building something really valuable for the future here. So we know that lettings businesses generally are worth 1.5 to 2 times your annual turnover. So with an annual turnover of 150k, your business could be worth up to 300,000. So if we look at your management growth, and this is your monthly revenue, so I think it's important to share with you, just to give people that confidence in terms of, you know, when you're starting off with 0, and if you're coming from an employed role, or you are a brand new startup, you know, it's just good to visualize, you know, what you can expect in your first 3 and 6 months. So by adding 6 properties a month to your portfolio, at the end of month 3, that would give you, and again, we will share all of this in more detail on discovery calls with all the illustrations, but that will give you about 2,050 income. After 6 months, that rises to 4,100, and after 12 months, 8,200. Now, this is based, as I said, on the same examples before, so 985 average rent, and it's 70% commission. What isn't included there, though, is the license, the monthly license fee, and the the property management support. But that works out at a minimum fee of about 3,600 a year. So even still, you are on, you know, it's a huge advantage to be getting that maximum commission on your portfolio. If we then look at the yearly managed income growth, so again, by adding 6 properties per month to your portfolio, at the end of year 1, that portfolio would be worth around 53,000. After 2 years, 143,000, and after 3 years, 233,000. So, you know, massive, massive opportunity. It's important to say, though, at this point as well, that again, that is your 70% commission. You have got your license fees to come out of that, which are 3,600 minimum per year. But, you know, all the support and advice that we will give you as you're building your business is, yes, you'll be earning more money, but you've got to reinvest that back into your business as well. You can't get away with lettings just doing it by, you know, you can't cut corners. You've got to do it properly, and we'll be there to support you to do that. So the beauty is that as you're building up that residual income, you can reinvest that money back into your business to bring on more letting experts and more even property managers to help you with the business. And this is where we'll just lead on to building the business. So, you know, huge opportunity to build your team. And again, also additional income streams, which we'll look at in a moment in terms of insurance products. We will also like to mention here that you can extend your services to offer sales. So if you are coming on as a letting expert and you do have a client who will want you to sell their property, like you say, you may have a landlord who wants to sell 1 or 2 of his portfolios, and that's important to keep that business. Or, you know, you can work with a local property expert and agree to split the fee. So you can decide how you want to play that one. Again, we're very, very flexible on that note.
Susan, sorry, I've just got quite a few questions coming in, so I just want to rattle a few of these off now. Yeah. So the slide projections, are they net or gross? So as in fees to the experts, so that's to the agent money.
So that is 70%. Yeah, 70% on the letting fees and 100% of the management income. And as I said, then
figures are to the agents.
Yes, that's the total business. What we're going to look at here now is when you're growing a team. So yeah, that is to the agent. Yes.
Well, will corporate lets be allowed at the moment?
Yeah. And again, what we've got to do, we've got to start somewhere. Yes, we've got to build this, this model is here. A lot of work has gone into this. It's ready to go. We need to sort of start with the core market to start with. We know you've got your corporates, you've got your HMOs. Yes, we would like to have a corporate service. Absolutely. But again, we've got to build that.
Build that core business. That's
Yeah.
great. Can you confirm if there will be any tenancy management, CRM and rent collection software included, in particular rent collection software such as PropTech or similar? Obviously we're going to come on to that.
We're going to come on to that shortly.
So that's fine. And then the question is not how much I can earn, what your take is. Well, our take is 30% of the business. And then the last one's a really good question, actually. Can we bring over active tenancies? And if so, is there any cost behind that? And if we bring on clients and we decide to walk away from the business, can we take that portfolio with us? Is it in theory our own business?
It's your business. Absolutely, you can. And I know that's a big challenge in other models, but yes, you can. Going back to sorry, what was the other question before? Just remind me. About the costs, wasn't it, and what's included in the management. So let me run on with that, because that will probably cover a couple of those questions, James.
That's fine.
I'm conscious again of time, so this slide here just shows you if you are building a team. So again, what I've done is I've broken it down into sort of 3 different tiers of your growth. So you're a start off agent, you're going to do just 4 move-ins a month. So I've taken us back from the 6. And again, this is based on 70% of letting fees and 100% monthly management fees. It does exclude the license fees and property management support fees, which, as I said, are 3,600 per year, which I'll show you in a moment. And so even just doing 4 move-ins a month and 2 fully managed and 2 tenant find, that would be your revenue and your annual portfolio revenue at the end of the year. You step that up to 2 agents doing 14 move-ins between you. That jumps up to the figure you see and your annual portfolio, and then 3 agents, which is a big team, right? So you can even go beyond that if you wanted to, but a big team with 3 agents doing 30 move-ins, and that gives you your total annual revenue. Again, it's important to mention here that yes, you're getting 100% of your management income, but you do have to invest that back into your business as well. You can't run a big portfolio on a shoestring. So you've got to, and this is where our support, we will be there. And as you get your business to different stages of your portfolio, you can either, recruit yourself locally, and you've got recruitment experts to help you with that. And obviously you would pay that out of your gross commission, or we can provide you with additional support, which leads me on to what we're going to talk about next. So just before that, I also want to mention here, agent success. So this is, for some of you on here, you may be aware that I worked as a consultant for the last 8 months with Legal for Landlords, and I actually built and launched their agent success program whilst I was working with them as a consultant. So this is a great way now to really link in with all the insurance products and services, and gives that extra revenue to agents and the letting experts. And that's the range of products and services that will all be fully available for you to offer from day one. So how much does it cost to be a letting expert? So the business setup costs, with any self-employed model that's out there, you will have setup costs when you first join. So I've looked at all of these costs, and what I've tried to do is build them in as much as I can into the monthly subscription fees in order to reduce the upfront costs. So what you see here is there's 2 figures at the bottom. So you'll either pay around £630 or £1,150 when you join. So it depends if you're going to do your own rent collection or not. So the difference here in the costings is that if you're going to do your own rent collection, you'll need client account setup and client money protection, which you must have for holding client monies. We've partnered, so this will answer one of your questions. So we've partnered with a digital client account. I'm not going to tell you who they are right now, but we have partnered with a market leading digital client account platform that will, and we'll support you with getting that application put through, and with the client money protection. We'll also help you to set up your PRS and your PI insurance. So again, we want to make everything as simple as possible and as pain-free for our agents to get up and running as quickly as possible. And then our monthly license fee. So this is basically your license to trade under the business and the brand that is the Lettings Expert. So this gives you all of the tools and support to promote your business and market your properties. So You can see on here, it's an extensive support package. And just to highlight, because you asked the question, James, so yes, that includes the CRM system, the digital pre-tenancy platform, the onboarding, business setup, training support, property portals, your individual agent microsite, marketing, lead generation tools, and also we will have a pre-tenancy compliance support as well, included in that monthly fee. And then we have a transaction fee. So the transaction fees are per let, and these are the additional costs that you would normally have to pay in a self-employed model. So you'd normally have to pay for these monthly yourself separately. And that's how I've experienced it before. So what I wanted to do is, rather than you having to think about what you've got to pay at the end of the month, it's grouped into one nice fee for you. So it's £50 plus VAT per let. That includes your digital tenancy agreement, your tenant references, guarantor references, credit checks, digital right to rent. So no more having to meet in petrol stations on the side of the road to verify right to rent, and a pre-move-in compliance sign-off. So that's just belt and braces. Again, I mentioned before, compliance is huge. It's the security and safety of your business as well as the brand. So that's what the transaction fee is. And then we have the property management support. So you get 100% of your management revenue, and you pay a property management support of £150 plus VAT. So we've built a property management support platform, basically. That's probably the best way to describe it. So it's a platform that gives you all of the tools for you to be able to manage your rental portfolio. So that's your property management CRM, your accounting CRM, a customer management portal, your digital client account. We have also built into this where you'll have a compliance support team and a legal advisory service. So if you need to pick up the phone to somebody and ask for some advice, you've got that as well. And of course, all the training, everything that's going to be built into the program, and keeping you up to date with the legislation. So what we want to do here is build a really, really great foundation for you to say, right, this is how I want to, I need all the tools to get up and running, and I want to manage it myself locally. However, we also understand that there may be some agents out there who don't necessarily want to do all the management themselves. Some people will say, actually, I'd quite like to focus on, they might want to focus in the future on, corporate lets, HMOs, whatever, prestige market. But this is where the portfolio is yours, it's your business, and we will provide you the support to help you to manage your portfolio. And that's really where the big difference is. So we will offer you some additional packages. So if you want some support with your rent collection or your tenancy renewals, your safety renewals, property visits, checkouts, etc., we can also help you with that. So our model is to support you to manage your own portfolio. It's your business, you decide. So again, when we do the discovery calls with you, we can talk to you about the business planning tools and everything else that we can help you with in order to make those right decisions as you grow your business. And then finally, I want to just talk to you about the National Advertising Fund and Experts Foundation. So this is, really, really important to our agents, and also for us to give back to the community. So firstly, £10 per move-in is put into a national advertising fund. So that's a committee which is made up of all the property experts and all the letting experts, and they will collectively decide how that money is spent. So for example, if we did 300 sales completions and 300 lettings move-ins, that would generate about 10,500 per month to be spent on a national campaign to generate more market appraisals and more brand awareness for your business. So a contribution from you of just £10 per move-in, you could benefit from £10,500 worth of advertising. So it's a great way of collectively working together to market the business. And then secondly, really important, we believe it's very important to give back to our communities and to help those that are less fortunate. So we do contribute £5 per move-in. Our sales experts also contribute. So and the company matches every contribution that's made by the agent. So we will donate combined from every sale and lettings £60 to the Experts Foundation. So that money is donated and it's distributed to charities that are nominated by our property experts and our letting experts, and all to support good causes. And again, you know, this is really important for you and your business and your local communities as well. So you can choose to give money back to your local communities, which really helps you to grow and be known in the business as not only the lettings expert and of choice, but also someone who's given back to the local community. So really, really great way of doing that. So I'm all talked out. I'm just going to just very recap. So why take this conversation further? Why speak to letting experts? And we've said we want to provide the most attractive model. You know, we are dedicated to lettings. We will give you the support to get your business up and running, the framework, everything you need. And we know how important your portfolio is to you. So we're never going to take that away from you. It's your business. We're just going to be there to support you and enable you to build, you know, a really, really successful business in the future. So I'm pretty much, I think, James, this is now, James, I've done with it, and I can stop talking for a minute if you just want to explain the QR code. So, and what the next steps are for everybody.
Yeah, no worries. Well, the QR codes, scan them, guys. So if you want a copy of the prospectus, then scan the top code, and what we can do is we'll just link you to a page. You drop in your email, and we'll ping you over a copy, so you guys have all got a copy. You know, we're not going to hassle you for it. Or if you want to, you know, jump into a discovery call with me or Susan, then yeah, again, just scan the link. Obviously, most of you guys will have my email. A lot of you guys have reached out to me already, which is fantastic. And yeah, just feel free to book in a call. Like I say, you know, we'll sit down, we'll talk about the model. We can talk a little bit more in depth and really kind of go through basically everything. You know, we get an hour for these calls and it barely touches the surfaces, and I'm sure that Susan is knackered from this. So just feel free to reach out to one of us and just drop us a message, you know, or scan the codes. In terms of processes though, guys, you know, we'll, you know, have a chat with us, we'll work through it. Obviously, then you'll probably want to have a chat with Susan. Fantastic. And then what we'll do is, if you're happy with everything and if we're ready to pull the trigger, then we'll get an agreement signed, you know, we get the compliance done. We're very, very lucky with Susan because she's made our compliance very, very easy. And to be honest with you, it's very cheap for what you get for that model. Is fantastic. We've really kind of pushed really hard on everything. You know, we're going to set everyone down for an induction training. It is going to be limited numbers, guys. You know, we really want to give the first people coming through some of the best quality training that there is in the market. So, you know, we're only going to take X amount of people, you know, based on the amount of people on, we may have to stretch out a little bit. And then obviously we're going to start working with you guys one-on-one to make sure that you're super successful agents, and really have everything. And then give this a scan. Susan has finally made a LinkedIn tree, so learn a bit more about her, you know, go have a chat with her, see what she's doing. I think that I'm really excited because there is no other model. I keep saying this, but there's no other model that's doing this in the UK. We are the first people to be doing this on scale, and there is no one that even touches what we're paying other agents. And so not only do you get the massive benefit of the property experts, you know, feeding in, but you also get the lettings experts as a separate business. It's not bolt on. Susan's dedicated to this business. So yeah, go have a look at what she's doing. You know, there's going to be loads of stuff going up, events and that kind of thing.
Great. So we've gone, I think, about what, 2 or 3 minutes over.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. Have we got time to answer any questions, or have we covered in the last few slides?
No, yeah, we've got a couple more questions.
Okay.
So we've got someone asking how local would the Right Move or Zoopla office be? Only in Birmingham. Okay, so do we run off a single account for when we list properties, or is it a national account?
Yeah, so I know that's going to be, you know, that can be, yeah, I totally get that in terms of the challenges. Been there and done that in previous roles. So yeah, that's one that we would need to discuss with you. Obviously, it's a little bit more complicated to go into detail on the call today. But obviously, you know, we will be linking with the property experts and the marketing there. So that's one, unfortunately, we would have to pick up separately.
Yeah, no stress. And then can we do our own admin and references with other providers? So, you know, a bit like a supplement, you know, a reference company.
Yeah. I mean, I think again, you know, we want to create the choice for agents, but ultimately as well, we also want to give them the best tools. And you know, I've done a lot of research on this in terms of, you know, the best prop tech and everything to enable you with that. And I do think what we offer is that. You know, but if somebody is particularly adamant that they want to do their own in-house referencing, I can't see why that would be a problem.
Yeah.
We just have to look at, you know, sort of the audit trail, really, just to make sure that, you know, it's the same standard of compliance for anybody that does a let in the business, because as I mentioned before, you live or die by your compliance. And so it's just having the right sort of process in place to make sure that we're all aligned.
I don't think there's another, I don't think you'll get, for the service of, you know, what we're offering as well, you won't get it cheaper. You know, we're a national company running out nationally. We've negotiated on this tremendously hard on everything. It's not just one thing, it's every single part of what we're offering to agents. And you know, there is no way that you can go to another provider and get a better price for the service that we give. But that's where you that's where you want to join a national company. It's not because, you know, it's because you have the backing of a national company, but you still get to be you and still get to do what you do best. Ultimately, we're here to take the pressure of administration and services and compliance massively off of the agent to allow them to do what they're best at, which is go out, get the properties, rent them out, and then, you know, and even manage them. You know, we're going to have agents that don't want to do management, which is great. You know, we'll be able to pick up on that. Or you're going to have agents that, you know, want to handle everything in-house, and that's fantastic. And so it's about giving them options, which currently there is no other agent that's giving you the option. It's either one way or another. You know, I've let properties and I've wanted to deal with them on property management, and that's because I felt really close to them. And, you know, if you would have given me this a couple of years ago, I would have ripped your arm off for it.
Yeah. And good point. You know, we don't want to pigeonhole people into a model where, you know, they can't, you know, they can't choose to do things how they want to do it. Obviously, you know, we've spent a lot of time, a lot of money is going into the research and what we're offering, and like you say, it's very, very competitive, and we'll continue to make sure it's competitive. So we'll continue to go out there and look at the best technology to support our partners. That's what it's all about. So you don't have to do that. That's the whole idea of the model. And I've just noticed myself, I'm gradually going darker and darker here because I haven't got any lights on in the room. So
no, it's all right. I mean, it's the same with compliance. It's the same with compliance though, because ultimately, you know, compliance is constantly changing in the lettings market, and for you as an agent to try and stay on top of that is really painful. You know, no one wants to deal with it, and I think that ultimately, if you've got someone there to support you and basically say, yeah, we're sorting it all out for you, you know, here's what it looks like, here it is in less jargon terms, here's the easy representation of what it needs to do. Great, that's perfect. That's all you want as a lettings agent.
And I think just to add to that, sorry, James, I think as well, you know, we're giving you sort of the platform to run your business, so you can bespoke it. So although you might not be actually doing it yourself, or you've actually, everything that is branded, all of the tech that you're using is branded you. So it's very personal, and you can sort of tweak that journey as well. But ultimately, you know, we've got to be consistent with the compliance, which is really important.
Right. I've had about 3 messages from people saying that it's an amazing service and, you know, better than the last company. How can I get in touch? So guys, just reach out to us. I'm really, really excited to talk to everyone. Probably shut it up shop now, really. Otherwise, we're going to take loads of questions. A lot of them being covered. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for attending. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you, Susan. She put in a lot of work into this, and she spent a lot of time making sure that this presentation was done. Susan, anything more for you before we whip off?
Obviously, I don't know who's out there. It's very weird doing this. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining, and I hope it's given you a really good introduction to what the Letting Experts is going to offer you, and really excited to hear from anybody who's interested. And have a good evening.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. And yeah, hopefully we'll chat to you soon. Cheers.
Bye.